Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and the 59 project. Been a couple days since I got the roof tacked in there and just working on filling in the side pieces. Just a little update on the channel. Not sure what happened. These 59s must be a real popular item because I jumped from 494 subscribers to 560, and this last video got 3,000 views. So thank you very much for all the support, everybody, and all the subs. So we'll carry on here. I'll show you what I've got done and what's left to be done here. Okay, so I got the first piece done on top here. What's involved in this? This took me about 5.5 hours to make this piece. I did the lower piece first, and then I did the upper piece. The lower piece has the drip edge. It comes down, it goes 90, it goes 90. Then there's a curve. I'll just let me move a magnet. So there's a curve here, comes out to a round point, which is 1/4 inch ID, and I'll show you how I made that. Then there's another curve here, and then there's a break here, like a lap, using the bead roller that made kind of a step into it. So I had originally planned on doing this whole piece down to here in one, and there's absolutely no way to do that. It's just way too complicated. So when I did this piece, the first thing I did was I broke 90 degrees here and I left this sticking straight out. Then I did the break here, the step, and then I started working this point into it. Once I had everything shaped and fit, I made the top piece here, which has about a 70 degree bend in it. I drilled 3 holes and I plug welded it to this piece. Then I folded the drip edge up to form it, and I finished welding everything. So to make this piece took a whole bunch of different processes. Like I said, I used a step die for here, and here I used my brake. And then for these, what I did was I welded a chunk of 1/4 inch to my I-beam. I clamped the piece of steel down, and then I used a few different round bars, and I tapped in this next curve till it was matching this one perfectly. I had to adjust it quite a few times, and I had to keep crisping up these edges with the step die. This piece is done. Next I'm working on is this filler piece here. I did a test piece up yesterday. This is it here. I got it to all the spacing and everything right. So on this one, we have a step right where my thumb is. Then there's an outwards curve. Then there's a break, and then it curves back in, so it follows all of these shapes. So what I've got done now, I just finished doing this one. Let me see if I can do this with, sorry about that, one hand. So what I did was I just put the step in it right now with the bead roller. And the key to that is doing a couple of test pieces, figuring out your depth, and you also have to watch your spacing here. That's not a straight 90 step down. It comes down at an angle, and by changing your spacing here, you can get that angle on your step. So I got this piece in this far. Next thing I have to do is put that reverse curve in it, which I'll be doing probably on my round body dolly, just by hand in the vise. It follows the radius here really well. I tried using the radius die in the bead roller, and all it ended up doing was straightening out my step. So I'm thinking by hand is going to be considerably easier. Once I have this radius in, then I'm going to have to use the tipping die and just put this brake in that transitions from this outside curve to the inside curve. I'll quit yammering now and get to work on this. Okay, we're just set up here at the bead roller. I have this reverse curve put in now. After I hammered it in there, I took it to the planishing hammer and ran it back and forth a few times with the biggest radius I had, just to smooth out the hammer marks. Now I have my the mark where the crease body line goes in just below this curve, and I'm just about set up here to do that. So what I'm going to do, I got it set here. I'm going to run it right along that line. Hopefully I can get you in here. And I have to pull up on it at the same time to put that line in there. This has to be dead straight or it's going to show like crazy. Okay, there's one pass. It gave me a really nice crisp line, except for at the end here. I think I backed off a little too much. So we're just going to go through one more time, just on the pressure pulling up on it. Okay, that worked out really good. Now I can start putting this curve in. Okay, I got the piece all shaped here. Hopefully you can see that nice crisp edge there. It's fitting really well in here. I got the spacing just right. This is going to need a final trim before it gets welded in. So now I have to start working this curve into it. What I'm going to use is the English wheel with the rubber band on the big wheel. So all it does is put form in it, or shape in it. No, form instead of shape. Shape is two ways, form is one way. We'll just head over the English wheel. Got too much stuff in the way. Now, so long as I do it the right way, we'll be laughing. Okay, I've got very low pressure on it. I've got it marked where it's got to start. It goes really quick, so I don't have to run too many passes through it. As you can see, it picked up quite a bit of curve already. I'll go test fit this and we'll go from there. Okay, I stopped doing that just in the nick of time. Got exactly the right radius here. Now I've got a bunch of trimming to do to get this to fit nice and flush so that I can weld it. I put some weld-through primer on all of the inside stuff. It's all been treated with rust converter. So I have to trim both edges a little bit to get it to fit where it's supposed to, and then I can start tack welding this in. After an hour of slowly creeping up on it, I got it close with the zip disc, and then I just started taking 1/32 of an inch off at a time to get the fit, get my clearance for the MIG welds. It fit in there really nice. I can now start tacking. What I'll do is I'll start at the top and I'll make sure everything is flush all the way down. Actually, I may even start right here at the body lines, because that's the critical point. That's what I don't want moving around. The rest I could actually put the zip disc in if I need some clearance or something. So that'll be my next thing, is to start getting this all tack welded in here, guys. Okay, I got that piece all tacked in. It worked out really well. All of the body lines came together. I had to do quite a bit of planishing as I was going, just to fine tune everything, so I can start welding all that together. I still got the roof all to weld. I've been doing a little bit at a time, and I guess next I will carry on with this piece. Goes down. I'm going to end it about here so that I can put in my new cab corner. Man, can't even think this morning. So, okay, we'll be back as we start working on the next piece here. Hey everyone, welcome back. New Year's Day. Happy New Year to everybody. We'll carry on with this 59 here. Get some more of this video done. Yesterday I left it with the second piece installed. I was going to carry on and put in the next section down, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the filler piece that goes across the floor here. It's going to come over to the outside edge where the inner cab corner goes and just turn down. And the reason I'm going to tackle that now is I have much better access here working through the opening to get it all welded and ground. So we'll get set up here. I'll start measuring the pieces. There's going to be a few beads I'm going to have to put in it to follow the contour of the floor here. So we'll get set up. I'll cut some pieces and show you the process. Okay, I got the first piece cut. I broke the end of it down here at 90 degrees. So that I'm going to get a double overlap joint on the inside piece of the cab corner. What I'm doing is just using up some 5-inch pieces I had left over from doing the stretch on the top of the cab. So to make this stronger, I'll just bring you over to the bead roller here. Set up, and what I'm going to do, come on, is I'm going to just do an offset here so that I can do an overlap, being that this is the floor, nobody's ever going to see it, and I'd sooner it was stronger than doing a butt joint. So I'll just run this through here. I'm really liking how this setup for the bead roller worked out, powering it up. I'm just going to use the back edge here of the die as a guide. I'll just run it through twice. I think we're going to need a little more pressure. Okay, we got a nice step in it there now. Didn't run it through very straight. Like I said, it's the floor, so. See if we can straighten it out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so this first piece now, got too much stuff in the way here. tripping over everything. Okay, so this first piece I will tack in, and then I can get the second piece started, and I'll bring you back and show you that one. So, the one thing I've noticed on this that seems a little strange to me, I don't think anything's ever been done as far as body work, but there's actually brass on this inner cab corner brace where the pieces are welded together. So I'm going to have to grind that out before I attempt to weld it, otherwise we're going to end up with all kinds of spatter and crap there. So, okay, I'll bring you back shortly. Okay, I got this first piece all lined up and set up. I've got it set back here about a 16th or so of an inch, just the thickness of this sheet of steel, so when this piece comes up it'll overlap here. I've got it set so that it's flush. It's double layer out here, so I have to be careful what I do, and it's already in there, so I'm just going to get this tacked in. See if I can get you positioned here where I won't knock you over. Won't get sparks on the lens of my camera. I got a little bit of brass here still, so I'm not real worried about how this one looks, or just got to make sure that I got everything flush. My finger's in the way here. Okay, so that one's good. Oh, tip's coming loose. Okay. Magnets out of the way. Okay, so we've got it all tacked in. I'm going to put a few more tacks on it, and then I'll start on the next piece. I've got the second piece in here now. It's sitting flush where I put the little step down. So what I've got is a raised area right here. This rib is right above the body mount. So I have to put a step. It looks like it's about a little more than 1/8 of an inch. And then it comes across, and then there's a step down here where the fuel tank, there was pieces come out of the bottom of it. This one's probably close to 3/8 or 1/2 an inch, so I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do that one. I'm thinking I'll go the biggest step that I have, but I will, it might not go all the way to the bottom. I might have to just fill it in a little bit there. So. And then it goes straight across, and I put another step down there for the piece that goes over there next. So we'll get this set up, get all the lines marked, and then we'll go over to the bead roller. I did a test piece just to make sure I had my spacing proper here. By offsetting the dies, I get that so that it goes at a 45 instead of straight up and down. Now I've got my piece marked. I've got 2 marks on it. One is the outer mark is the bottom of the bend, and the other one is a guide mark so that I can follow the upper edge of the die here. So actually I think I marked this on the wrong side. We better go do that properly. Sure is easy to screw yourself up. I marked this wrong twice. So this is going to be the bottom of the step. This is my guide mark along the edge here. We'll just see how this is going to feed through for us. I'll have to run it through a couple times. Okay, so there's the first step. The next one's over here. Once again, this is the bottom of the step. So I have to put my mark over here as a guide to follow it through. Okay, I got the second one set up. See if we can get it to feed through there. I've got a 2,500 pound winch running my bead roller. Seems to be loads of power. I'll run it through 3 times just so we got everything nice and flat and straight. Okay, so now I've got my double step. Hopefully, there we go. So we'll see how this fits inside there. Well, I sure screwed that up. I must have gone on the wrong side of one of these marks, and I bent it down instead of up. So I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to make a new piece, start over. It is just the floor behind the seat. I think I might just use it. See if I can screw the other one up just as bad here. So anyhow, I'm going to carry on. Sometimes the more you think about it, the worse it gets. Okay, I'll mark the other one out, see if I can screw it up as well. Okay everyone, I couldn't live with that. It's just not in me. So what I did was I put this on my brake. I hammered it flat. The same with the step on the end, because now what I ended up doing was flipping the piece over to the other side so that the orientation was correct. Then I flattened this one out and put it back in so it was faced in the right direction. So now I'm ready to start on the next one, and this one goes down instead of up. I'm going to make sure I triple check this, make sure it's right. So I'm using my biggest step dies. These are 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit better. And what I've found in the past is putting a little bit of grease on them really helps. Otherwise they like to tear into the steel a little bit here. So I'm just going to check my orientation one more time, make sure it's right. Now the one thing I did is I have both sides marked, but once I put this one in, it's going to use quite a bit of material, so I'm going to have to remark this one because it's going to pull it over, and then I'll be too narrow. So I'm just going to double check this, and then we'll give it a try. Okay, I believe we're good, because if I screw it up this time, we're done. Okay, here we go, first pass. Once again, I put a second mark in here for following the inside edge of the die. Come on. Just a sec here. It's going to take a few passes. This is a really big step down. But watch, my other end keeps hanging up here. Got to check your dies to make sure that they don't come loose. Going one turn at a time on the Okay, that's how deep we've gone so far. I'm just going to check it. Got to go a little bit more. It'll be right to the full depth. Come on. One more turn. And it's still not quite going to make it. But it's all we got, so. Okay, that's full depth. So what I'm going to do now is go over and mark the second one, and I can already tell it's probably 3/16 of an inch. It's pulled the sheet over here, so. Okay, I got this one done now. It's about an 1/8 of an inch out from the original, but that's as deep as I can go. What I might do is just put a little bit of a slit on each corner here and give that a little tip down so that it'll tie into the original piece. This one lined up really good. I'm good here. What I'm going to do is drill 3 or 4 plug weld holes here so that I can plug weld that together, and then I'll get this all tacked in like I did the first piece. Okay, I got my holes drilled for plug welds. I got this all wrapped up. I put 2 little cuts in on each side, and I just used my duckbill vice grips, and I bent this down just enough that it'll catch the bottom of the other lip there. I put a little bit of weld through primer on both areas. Just going to let that dry, and I can get this all tack welded in there. Okay, I'm just getting this piece all tack welded in, doing my plug welds. Okay, I'm just going to continue across here getting this all tack welded in, and then there'll be 2 more pieces to do on the other side, and that'll have the floor sealed in here, and then I'll start making a drop down to tie in the inner cab corner here. Okay, we're back again. I got this side all completed. I did it in one piece. Figured it was easier. I got the little raised portion put in. It's all tacked in. And then I'll show you what my plan is here, or what I'm doing with the inner cab corner. So what I did was I cut another 5-inch piece, marked it, broke it to a little less than 90 degrees because these kind of come out at a bit of an angle. I put 4 plug welds at the top, ran it down and joined the 2 edges here, just got it all tacked in. Now the reason I didn't go all the way to the bottom is once the cab corner's on, I can trim this back, or before I put the cab corner on, I'll trim this back to where all the good metal is, and I can build all of that to match the cab corner once the cab corner is welded in there. So next thing we're going to do is tackle the this next piece comes down to where the cab corner goes, and I believe I'm going to start on that tomorrow. Just put you in the tripod here. I think this video is starting to get fairly long with all of the stuff we've been doing, so I'll call it here and we can start a fresh one tomorrow. I want to thank all my previous subscribers and all of the new ones that have come on board. I think we got about 100 more after the last video there. Don't know what transpired. I guess everybody likes 59 Chevys and GMCs. So anyhow, everybody, thanks a bunch for tuning in and watching the progress here. Take care.